Before we start, if stories like this resonate with you, please subscribe to the channel. It helps these stories reach people who might need them. And when this ends, I'd really like you to share your thoughts in the comments. The text came in while we were already seated at the restaurant. Just don't overreact tonight. You're always too sensitive about him. It was from my sister. I stared at my phone, thumb hovering over the screen, my chest tightening. Across the table, my son Noah was carefully folding his napkin into a triangle, concentrating like it was a serious task. He was 11. Quiet. Thoughtful. The kind of kid who listened more than he spoke. I slipped my phone back into my pocket and told myself to breathe. This was supposed to be a normal family dinner. One of those forced but necessary nights where everyone pretended things were fine. My parents were in town. My sister, Rachel, had insisted we all go out together like old times. I already knew better. But I wanted to believe her. From the moment we sat down, something felt off. Rachel barely acknowledged Noah. When he said hello, she smiled without looking at him, already deep into a story about her job. My wife squeezed my knee under the table, a silent reminder not to start anything. I told myself I was imagining it. But then the comments started. Little ones. Sharp ones. So Noah, Rachel said, swirling her wine. Still into those, what are they called? Little robot toys. They're model kits, Noah said softly. I build them. Rachel laughed. Right. Cute. Not cruel. Not yet. Just dismissive enough to sting. I watched Noah's shoulders tighten. I recognized that posture. I'd worn it myself as a kid, learning how to make yourself smaller so you didn't become a target. The waiter brought food. Plates clinked. Conversation moved on. I tried to relax, but my jaw stayed tight. Then Rachel leaned back in her chair and said it. So, are you ever worried he's going to grow up a little? You know, she gestured vaguely. Socially behind? The table went quiet. I felt heat rush up my neck. What do you mean by that? She waved her hand. Oh, come on. I'm joking. He's just so serious. Kids should be more fun. Noah froze. His fork hovered over his plate. My mother cleared her throat. My father stared at his food. Rachel looked at Noah, then back at me and smiled. Relax. It's a joke. Then she laughed. A sharp, careless laugh that sliced through the room. I looked at my son. His face had gone red. Not angry red, but embarrassed. Hurt. His eyes stayed glued to his plate like if he didn't look up, none of this was happening. Something inside me cracked. I wanted to stand up. To shout. To tell her exactly who she was in that moment. But years of family conditioning kicked in. Don't cause a scene, don't embarrass everyone, let it go. So I did what I'd always done. I stayed quiet. And I hated myself for it. The rest of dinner passed in a blur. Rachel kept talking louder now, riding the energy of her own amusement. Noah barely spoke. When dessert came, he whispered that he wasn't hungry. On the drive home, the car was silent. Streetlights slid over the windshield like slow blinks. Finally, Noah said, Did I do something wrong? That was it. I pulled over. No, I said immediately, turning to face him. You did nothing wrong. Not one thing. He nodded, but he didn't look convinced. That night, after he went to bed, I replayed the dinner over and over. Every missed moment. Every time I could have stepped in sooner. The text Rachel had sent. The way everyone else had stayed quiet too. This wasn't new. It was just clearer now. Growing up, Rachel had always been like this. Sharp humor. Just joking. Our parents had always excused it. That's just how she is. And I'd let that excuse roll forward into my own family. The next morning, I saw a message in the family group chat. Rachel had posted a selfie from the dinner with the caption, Family time. Even the awkward phases faced with tears of joy. I felt sick. I scrolled through the comments. Laughing emojis. My mom's heart reaction. No one mentioned Noah by name. But they didn't have to. I confronted Rachel later that day. Not in person. I didn't trust myself for that. I called her. You embarrassed my son, I said. She scoffed. Oh my God, are you still on that? It was a joke. It wasn't funny to him. He needs to toughen up, she said. The world isn't going to coddle him. I took a breath. I'm his father. That's my job. She went quiet, then defensive. You're acting like I attacked him. You did, I said. Just not with your hands. She said I was dramatic, that I was projecting my own insecurities, that I was raising him to be fragile. I realized then she wasn't going to apologize. Not really. Because that would mean admitting she'd crossed a line she'd been stepping over her whole life. The turning point came that evening when Noah handed me a folded piece of paper. Inside was a drawing him and me standing side by side. Underneath he'd written, "Thanks for stopping the car." My chest tightened. I hadn't stopped the dinner, but I could stop what came next. I sent one final message to the family group chat. Calm. Clear. What was said at dinner hurt my son. Laughing it off doesn't make it okay. Until there's a real apology and a change in behavior, we're taking space. The responses were immediate. Confusion. Minimizing. Anger. Rachel didn't reply at all. The weeks after were quiet. Painfully so. But also lighter. No tense dinners. No bracing myself for comments disguised as jokes. Just my home. My wife. My son slowly laughing again without checking the room first. I still love my family. That hasn't changed. But love doesn't mean silence. And protecting your child doesn't make you difficult. It makes you a parent. If this story hit close to home, please subscribe to the channel. And tell me in the comments, would you have spoken up sooner? Or did you recognize that moment when enough finally became enough?